Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulations to the two-time winner this year for MVPs, the Open of Austin, presented by Flight Factory. Congratulations, Nicholas!
Ah, the sounds of Nicholas Onsalo winning the Open at Austin to kick us off. What a moment from 2025. Welcome, everyone, to one of our favorite shows of the year. It is the Gaffes and Weird Stuff bracket time. Charlie Eisenhood, Josh Mansfield, and our favorite guest, Dan Prentice, joining us. Dan, welcome. Your second year doing the Gaffes bracket. I hope you're excited.
Charlie, I was already excited, and then you just made my whole week by saying I'm the favorite guest of the show. You probably say that to all the guests, but I'm taking it at face value, so thank you for that. This is the best show of the year, so I'm absolutely thrilled that I get to be on for it.
We're going to have people giving calls. I'm glad Dan's here, too. Dan's great for this.
All right, so much like our storylines bracket, we've got 16 nominees trying to be the biggest gaffe or weird thing from the 2025 season. Shout out to our wonderful Discord and all of our subscribers who have kept an awesome list running all season long of gaffes and weird stuff so that we have everything in one place. It makes it way easier to come back and make sure we don't forget anything important. And this is important stuff, folks. We are going to, I think we need to give the winner a trophy. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah,
the trophy. So the trophy has been suggested to be called the Slab, which, if you remember, is what the play-by-play random guy who brought in to do the Big Money Skins broadcast kept calling the T-pad.
That's right. Charlie, so you know what it should look like? Do you remember the World's trophy that was like the plaque with like the 3D basket on top of it?
That weighed 25 pounds or something.
Yeah. It just looked like a child's art project. Yes.
So we're going to have to work on what the actual slab part is, but I also want to have a framed picture of that play-by-play guy and Germ like staring into the camera when they had to keep cutting back to the booth stare. Because they had like one working camera and like no graphics. Oh my God. That's one of the gaffes of all time in disc golf.
Really
that was truly electric. So let's dive in. This is a kind of a YouTube must show, in my opinion. You can listen. And if you've really followed the season, you'll probably enjoy it just listening. But we are going to show clips and pictures and stuff on the YouTube version so that you can really get into it. So we're going to begin just like we did. And we have really worked not to discuss these things almost at all beforehand. We did some randomized seating. We seeded the top four and then built buckets, kind of like the World Cup, and then seeded randomly within the buckets. So a loose seating and minimal discussion of these topics so that we can really truly get our reactions. We're going to kick things off with the 1 versus 16 matchup. And up
Should we
first,
do honorable mentions?
Oh, we could do the honorable mentions first. Let's do the honorable mentions. All right. Let's do the honorable mentions. Josh, take it away. We've got a bunch.
We do have a bunch. There were a lot of really good gaffes this year. The first one at the top, Charlie and I's decision to encourage our moms to listen to the podcast was a bad one. There was one rapid reacts that Charlie was 5 minutes late, and Charlie's mom is in the chat like, yeah, he's always late. and then my mom texts me during the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship and goes, so neither of you picked Holland to win, right? Tough.
Nice.
So anyways, bad life choices for both of us. For Charlotte, DGPT decided to reuse some old footage. Only problem, that footage was of Atlanta, not of Charlotte. So that was a nice little one. Charlie said that he didn't think Bluey was all that great. Is that, I don't remember the exact quote.
Listen, the Bluey Gate thing is like a Discord special. It's during some reacts, I was like, yeah. I like made a passing comment about Bluey like being something that you shouldn't watch. I don't even know what I said, but I was immediately ripped apart. I was crushed. I have watched basically no Bluey. I don't know anything about Bluey. I don't know why I was taking a shot at Bluey for no reason. But that's one of the gaffes of the Discord for sure.
Oh man, yeah, that was a bad call. People insisted, probably rightfully so, that I was the one to interview Calvin after his first major. I've already made the decision that I will not be attending another major until after our bet with Ricky is over, because I cannot risk losing that bet. So anyway, I won't be able to attend any more majors. Sorry, but it's just not worth it. Disc Golf World was denied media passes this year by the DGPT. That was a pretty big story when it happened.
Those guys, dude. Who's more gaff there? Is it more of a gaff on them for just like constantly shit talking, or is it more of a gaff on the Pro Tour for being so petty that they won't give out media passes to what is a media like duo?
It's both. It's both.
It's both. A little of both.
Two-sided for sure.
Missy Gannon continues her strong match play. Sure,
this was one of the last cuts.
Yeah. Oh, this almost made it. She went up against Rebecca Cox in in one of the match play events, and she wore a shirt that said "I heart Cox" on it at the press release or press conference. This is like also with like Missy like giving Owen a walker last year.
Yeah.
Missy's match play game is ruthless.
People probably didn't even watch it because they were like not watching the Match Play Championships press conference because who would watch that?
Right.
But the one thing to do is to watch Missy. She had signs that were in Finnish and then translated into English, and the last one was "You play disc golf like my grandmother," and Silva was dying. That was fun.
Great moment.
How about
yes?
This also almost made it. Innova debuting brand new baskets at USDGC and then having like 5 of the worst cut throughs of the year.
they had to do basket testing before they sent it to the DGPT. You know, so they did it at the major. Come on.
At one point, DGN threw up a graphic that just said blah 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 ASDFJKL semicolon. Oops. Another special from the Upshot is that we get on the show and say Ezra Aderhold is unpickable after we like plays well, and then he goes to Europe. You're like, all right, I gotta take him. He's in Europe. It's like a weak field. We gotta take him for the picks this week, and then he finishes like 50th. We declared him unpickable, and then he immediately won his first Elite Series event. So those are the honorable mentions this year. Let's get into the meat of the bracket, and we begin with the number 1 versus the number 16. The number 1 overall seed this year is the U.S. Women's Disc Golf Championship trophy. It was a little bit phallic, and
just a little.
So much so that when Innova posted on Instagram the pictures of Evelina winning, they airbrushed it out of the photo. Like, there's a picture of her holding the trophy up, and they airbrushed it out so you couldn't see it. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, you can take a look. I mean, this truly, I don't know how they let this, like, and for it to be the U.S. Women's Trophy.
Oh my gosh, it makes it so much
tough.
worse. It's so much worse.
It's going up against the number 16 seed, which is the Champions Cup, so another major. The foot fault call on Kristen when she stepped on her or slid her foot slid into her disc, into her lie, and they stroked her on like hole 16 when she was like almost about to climb back, and like Missy was in trouble.
Yeah.
And they stroked her with a foot fault call, and she was livid.
Oh.
This is more. I don't know if it's it's not quite a gaff. But it was
gaffes and weird stuff.
It was a weird moment and a very aggressive call. I mean, this is our storylines bracket, like one of these things. So, guys, your thoughts?
Well, I'll start with the foot fault. I think that the reason this is a gaff is because you had to go like frame by frame to see if she actually kicked her disc before she threw it. It was like, I forget the exact wording of the rule, but it's something like it has to be plainly obvious for the guy to be able to make the call in that spot. And there's just literally no way it could have been obvious enough for him to make the call. I think the reason ends up being a bottom seed in this bracket is because I don't think it really impacted the outcome of the tournament. Kristen was back by a couple strokes. I think even if she doesn't get penalized there, she doesn't end up winning anyway. There's a lot of like nerdy trophy discussion in the Discord, which I love. You know, as a disc golf nerd, the Discord is one of the best places to consume disc golf with other nerdy disc golf people. This one really takes the cake.
We didn't even pay him to say that.
No royalties at all. It's truly unfathomable that this somehow made it to being the trophy for this tournament. It's truly, it cannot happen. It cannot happen. It's so bad.
It was supposed to be a lighthouse? Is that right?
Yeah. There's a lighthouse hole.
Yeah, there's an icon, like one of the feature holes, you know, has a lighthouse on the green. The problem is, the trophy didn't look anything like that lighthouse. It just is terrible.
What did it look like, Dan?
Well, I think you just. I was really wondering, like, how is Charlie going to describe this one for the audio only listeners? I think you hit the nail on the head. But if you've not seen it, you have to see it because
there's no shot. There's no shot that people haven't seen this.
Everyone's seen this. This reached like orbit. I mean, this was on every Facebook group, every podcast. I mean, this is going to make a run. Josh, anything to add?
No, nothing.
All right, we move on to the 8-9. Number 8 is just globally professional disc golfers not checking the score and making horrible blunders in like key spots late in the final round because they don't know the scores. And it's happened multiple times. And like people like make excuses for these players when they do things that make no sense. This has been like a bugaboo on the pod for a while, but I mean, I don't understand. Like, it's going up against number 9, which is the gigantic world's largest duck at the preserve. And really the iconic one for me from this is Joey Tamale and Silva Sarnen's inside the duck photo, which we will put up on the YouTube right now. I don't really know why they did this. I don't really know any of the backstory on the duck or whether it's going to be back next year, but just like that is one of the weirdest things of the year.
It's so funny that like you have pictures of the preserve with like just like the duck. It's like you'd be putting on like half the course and like look up and there's just this giant duck on the
coming
horizon.
down the stretch on 16. You're like lining up your upshot. There's an aggressively huge duck looming.
I think it's weird. I freaking love it, and I hope it's back next year because I think some of those pictures are incredible. I want the duck back. Listen, the not checking scores thing is like. It's such a gaffe. The problem is it's going to keep happening. It's going to like this could be on the bracket literally every single year. Like we should just fill out the bracket and not checking scores should be one of those things on the bracket. Because of that, I'm just afraid the giant duck will be the only year the giant duck deserves its credit here.
Dan?
It's got to become an annual thing. It has to.
I hope so.
I have no idea whose idea this was or why they wanted to do it. But yeah, it's campy and great and gives a little personality to this tournament that, you know, to further separate it as its own individual thing, which I think a lot of tournaments should be doing a better job at. So yeah, this isn't like a error or anything. I love it. I think it's great. It was fun personality. So for once, a positive gaff, I'm gonna vote forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's just there's not necessarily anything that was so stand out about somebody who's not checking scores. I mean, Throw Pink is the most recent one, and that was debated at length already about, you know, what it was a play to try to make more money in second place. To me, I still think you just simply have to go for the win there.
Yeah.
It's unconscionable not to go for it, but ultimately, you know, you do need to know the scores in order to make an informed decision one way or the other. So please, players, if you don't want to check the scores yourself, get a caddy. Mm-hmm. But I'm voting for the duck. Duck is more fun. All right, we've got the 5 seed versus the 12 seed. The 5 seed, Adam Hammis, trying to kill a bird on Instagram stories ripping a driver at it. Turns out to be a protected species. The internet was not happy about this. Not great judgment from Adam Hammis. Up against the number
contract
12.
your Hammis, right?
We'll talk more about it in a sec. I got the number 12. The booth at USDGC was outside. It was cold, okay? So we're wearing coats all morning, me and Juliana Corver. And we would come on the air, right? Okay, fine. And when I would go off the air, I was cold enough to some point that I put my hoodie up over my head and over my headphones to try to stay warm. And they didn't give us notice that they were coming back to the booth shot. So they come to the booth shot and I have my hoodie up over my head. And I didn't know what to do. I was like, should I take it down and make it really obvious, or should I just leave it up? And I left it up, but then having now seen the footage of it, I should have taken it down. I should have definitely taken it down.
100%.
I look like some sort of spaceman. Anyway, that's the matchup, guys. Your thoughts?
This is a sad matchup for me because I really feel like both are deserving of going into the next round. Hoodie Chuck is such a great memeable moment. It's precious to me. I'm really glad we got that. I do think, though, Adam, bro, what were you thinking? Even if it's not a protected species, what are we doing here, man? You can't be throwing discs at birds. Like, who is here for that content? It's just weird more than anything else. So yeah, that's my lean here. Although I don't know, in terms of like just truly hilarious content, Charlie Hoodie does deserve to go on the next round. So if it takes it over Adam, I won't be upset.
I mentioned it as a little blurb real quick, like. And if people haven't seen the video, like this is one you got to watch because it's not like there's a bird in the fairway that he's like, oh, I'm just gonna throw.
No, he goes out of his way to throw a disc at a bird.
Yeah, 50 feet on top of a light post, and he throws at it. To do so in a sport where your worth is determined by your public image, in a year where you are negotiating your contract, is an unbelievable level of just stupidity that I cannot even fathom. He has since taken it down. It's on Reddit, of course, because everything lives on forever on Reddit. But he deleted the video because he recognized like how bad of an idea it was. I really try to vote.
He deleted the video because he was getting blown up on the internet.
That's what I meant. Sorry. I meant how bad of an idea it was to post it. Like,
yes.
Like, yeah, not to throw at the bird, but like how terrible of a reception that was. Yeah.
He never did apologize.
It's so dumb.
For it, right?
I don't think so.
I did not see an apology.
Yeah.
I think he just hoped it would go away, but the gaff bracket lives on forever.
What's the bigger gaff, doing it or posting it?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have to pick. I get both.
That's true.
And so
you get the combo.
I'm advancing it. Listen, I want the hoodie. Maybe the thumbnail just needs to be like the hoodie Charlie for this episode. But Adam Hammis is just like an unbelievable level of dumb.
Here's the thing: the hoodie moment is like a stupid meme thing that like. You had to be watching that specific moment of the broadcast to even see it happen. And like, I don't know, it definitely made clear that it was cold outside. Like it's goofy, but Adam Hammis literally is losing fans and like is like people are genuinely upset. It's simply a bigger gaffe. It's simply a bigger gaffe. And it's not like he like threw a driver as hard as he could. I mean, but it's just dumb. It's just a dumb thing to do. And like, as somebody pointed out on Reddit, one of the things about disc golf that many of us love is that it's like we get to go out into nature and like we are trying to be minimally impactful to the surroundings, right? It's like hiking with a game. And so to like throw at birds is like the antithesis of that. So it's just a huge mistake and deserves to move on to the next round.
Agreed.
And thank God I don't have to look at myself in this stupid hoodie anymore. All right. We go to the 413. The number 4 seed is Discraft using AI to generate its stamps for Labor Day discs. Labor Day. You can't make this up. And so it's like the most obvious AI art ever, and like the
She
fingers
got
are
6
all
fingers.
weird. Oh my god,
Yeah.
dude! And like they kind of owned it, but I don't know. It was like a weird apology. It's not clear whose fault it was, for what it's worth.
Yes.
But anyway, they used AI to make art for the stamps. They were like so lazy, and they look terrible. Up against the number 13, which is just the 500 times Gannon blamed the wind for mistakes. You know, anytime anything went wrong, it was because the wind got faster, it got slower, it did this, it did that. I think it was comedy by the end of the season.
Did the wind switch 5 times when I threw?
The AI art thing. What's the bigger gaff? I gotta go AI art. It's just like, Gannon complaining about the wind is it's like funny because he does it so much, but
Right.
it's really just like who he is, and probably half the time he's right, to be honest. Half the time it is a wind thing. But the AI art, like for Labor Day, if it wasn't for Labor Day, I'd probably let it die, but it has to move on at least one round.
And Rosie the Riveter, like one of the most iconic labor looks, images in all of like U.S. history. That's what you're going to use AI on? Unbelievable. This
the hand, it's 5 fingers with no thumb. Like, it's too good, dude.
This is something that should have a sitcom,
unbelievable.
like truly sitcom levels of ironic comedy here. And yeah, that's the weird thing. Like, you don't even need AI for Rosie the Riveter. There's already an iconic image of her. Just use that.
Yes, just put it on.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Truly
that one makes me
comical.
so mad. That one makes me the maddest of all these gaffes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm very like anti-AI when it comes to these things in general, so maybe I'm a little bit biased, but yeah, pure comedy that it was for Labor Day, truly.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
All right. We move to the bottom of the bracket. We've got the number 3 seed, Aaron Gossage, crashing out at the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship, going up against the number 14 seed, which is that the Disc Golf Pro Tour, just all this fanfare about disc golf betting, and here it comes, betting is here, and then like it was literally impossible to place bets on disc golf for the majority of the season. They're like talking about the lines on the broadcast that were unavailable anywhere. Where can I bet this?
Oh man.
So that this is a good matchup for round 1.
Yeah, really good.
I'll let Dan go first because Dan
I'm
already
so excited. I'm so
Dan already had some thoughts, and I want to hear them again.
Yeah. I think that was during the storylines bracket that we got into that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, the Aaron Gossage crash out is one of the funniest, most entertaining moments in my time watching disc golf. Like, truly. It is so good. And it's like Nico Lacastro level clowndom. which is a very, very high level. It's rare that I would put someone in that level. It's just an utter meltdown, like a toddler throwing a temper tantrum because disc golf happened to him. Which is just so unbelievable to me. Like, we see these guys, right? Like, we see guys that are like this on the course when we're playing, and it's like, that guy's an absolute clown. Why is he even out here? If you're going to be like that, don't be out here. This is a professional disc golfer doing it on our biggest stage. And the tournament was there to be won still. Instead, he just completely melts down. Genuinely, I mentioned this previously, but when he goes to punch the basket, but is able to somehow control himself from doing that, is genuinely, I think, the funniest thing I've ever seen on a disc golf course. It is so funny. Go ahead, Josh.
Sorry, Dan. Go ahead. No.
You're good.
The line that you said that will forever live rent-free in my head was when you said his capacity to holster the punch. That's such a good description. He's like full wound up. And
Yeah. He crow hops into it. He's ready to full body punch that basket.
Oh my
It's
god.
incredible. Truly incredible.
Eagle, who has like the most infamous punching something story, is just like, please punch it, please punch it, please punch it.
Okay, but to be fair, Eagle punching the ground and like busting his hand is still just so funny.
So hilarious. True.
One of the best gaffes. Yeah. I mean, the thing is that like it was such an extended drama too, because the way that hole played out. It's like he slips on the tee pad and like immediately he's complaining, right? I slipped on the stupid tee pad. Like he's already so mad, and then he takes forever to throw his second shot. And then they like are like, hey man, like
come on, dude.
We gotta give you a time warning on that. And then he's raging about the time warning, and then he like maybe gets jobbed by the guy up at the rocks, and but like can't. Oh my god, there's everything about it. The decision not to just lay up and play it safe, like it was just a million things on top of the other. And then he's like complaining to Jeff Spring for like 3 minutes. It's like affecting the other players.
Yeah,
it was unreal.
Yeah, this is maybe my chance to talk about this, because I know a lot of people, like the time thing has been a big part of this discussion. And a lot of people have said, well, there's no card behind them, so he can take as long as he wants. But I don't agree with that, because he owes it to other players on his card to not take forever, right? Like why should the people on his card be punished? I don't care if there's no one behind him.
Yeah, that's a horrible take.
I agree. I think it's a lot of people just trying to defend a guy that they like,
Yeah, that's always what it is.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's always what it is.
Yeah,
people are quick to criticize players they don't like, and quick to rationalize why things that their favorite players did are wrong.
And I will say, I'm one who generally I'm a pretty big advocate of structuring the rules around pace of play for a card, and being less punitive for individual decisions. That sequence was like 2 full minutes.
Yeah.
When you include like going and getting his bag and putting his mini and deciding where he's going to play from, like it was like that. There. It's like I don't know what a time violation is, but I know it when I see it. Right? That's that old Supreme Court quote is the one that makes me think of that. Like I see that and I go, yeah, that's a time violation. That clearly, and it was. The betting's funny. The betting's like is definitely a gaff. The Pro Tour is gonna get saved by what could be a dark horse to win this whole thing.
All right, let's move on. The number 6 seed is the Crocal Playoff. Now, if you don't remember, the Crocal Playoff was the same hole on repeat.
Like
the problem was they moved the basket to the like wrong spot or something. I forget exactly what the details were, but the hole like had no scoring separation, so they just played this hole over and over, and like long walk back, and it was incredibly boring. Took so long, and this is what I think really makes it get into the bracket, that Esa-Pekka Tupola, who was the play-by-play, had to leave the booth to go do something else because he's in a band and he had to go play. So he just leaves in the middle of the broadcast because this playoff is taking so long and it's so boring.
It becomes just Brian and Nate Perkins, and Perk stopped going down to the green. He's on course. He just stayed up at the top of the tee. And like, because they were cutting him so often, they cut to him. And he's like munching on a granola bar or something. Like you can hear him eating because he's just like he's been stuck there for an hour. Oh my gosh.
Okay, that goes up against the one of the rare on course like just performance gaffes of the year. Paul Macbeth is 20 under par through 28 holes at the Champions Cup, and then proceeds to go 5 over the rest of the way and completely plummet down the leaderboard. So I think it's obvious what's going to advance here. I have to take the Crocal Playoff, but that was a disaster class from Paul.
Yeah, how did that happen?
I don't know.
He was in the lead, right?
Yeah.
And just scorching the course, and then just couldn't do anything the whole rest of the tournament. It was
crazy.
Bizarre.
It was crazy.
But yeah, I mean, I was watching the Crocal live, and I think through like 2 or 3 of the the replay hole, or the playoff holes. I'm like, wait a minute. Esa-Pekka hasn't said anything in a long time. Where did he go? And there was no announcement. There was no like Esa-Pekka has to leave or whatever. Brian's gonna hold it down for us. He just stopped talking. He just left. And thankfully Jakub Semerod mercy missed a circle one putt for it all to end. But it was kind of. I couldn't say it was like a train wreck because it was much less compelling, but there was something like, wow, this is so terrible that I can't help but look away. And I've committed all this time to watching. I have to keep watching. So yeah, something for pretty much all the wrong reasons, a tournament ending that I'll remember for a long time. I do think it has to advance over Paul's just bizarre, loss of the ability to tear apart a course.
Do you remember when they cut to all the players like sitting in the grass, just like chatting, and they're like interviewing players? Like, what's it like watching a 4-round playoff this next, like coming up on another one?
Just
like they were just doing anything to fill time.
Oh, they were desperate, so desperate. they were like highlighting the camera people that had to run back and forth. They had literally no more disc golf to talk about, and we weren't going to see a single interesting shot to talk about for however many holes.
No, it was Heiser every single time. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think the Crocal playoffs got to take that one.
All right, we go to the 7-10 matchup. At number 7, this is a great event. No question. The European Disc Golf Festival. However, in the player introductions, they clearly used AI-generated art, but it's not just that it was AI-generated, right? Like they did little cartoon versions of the players. Whatever, that's not that big of a deal. It seems like a reasonable enough case.
The exhibition event. The
exhibition event.
Yeah.
So they had their little teams.
Yes.
So one of the teams was like, we're like the military team.
Superheroes, I think.
So it's like a picture of, it's like a cartoon version of Silva Saarinen holding a gun. Like it's like a Holland with an assault rifle. Like it's just like the weirdest,
like Vietnam. Era look, it's wild.
Yeah,
it was a wild choice.
And then number 10, this one, I'm glad we're bringing it back to the Gaffes bracket because I feel like it deserves more shine than it got at the time, which is that the PDGA.com published an article basically apologizing for Jacob Cupcake Curtis for taking forever on his putts. It was basically like a yips, like this. Look how hard the yips are when like this dude's taking like 90 seconds to fucking putt a 20-footer.
Can I read a paragraph?
Yeah, please read for us.
That's the case for Cupcake, a nickname given to Curtis by Paul Macbeth at the 2014 PDGA Amateur and Junior World Disc Golf Championships. A daily battle against a condition that has no cure, that hit out of nowhere, and is impacting his love for a sport that he fell for quickly. You're writing this man's obituary. It looks like a Make-A-Wish description. Like a battle against a condition that has no cure. What is this? The bro can't putt a disc golf putter.
Oh,
stage 5 yips.
What is that line? Oh my god!
Listen, it's not really that. Like, I understand having sympathy for somebody for having yips.
Sure,
but like the PDGA.com publishing, like going out of their way to write this article, too funny, man, too funny. So there we go. AI gun art or Cupcake apology article. Dan, your thoughts?
Boy, this is a hard one, honestly. This really is hard. I think the thing that holds the article back for me is it's hard to tell if it's like truly a PDGA article or if it's just like a PDGA member wrote it and PDGA members are able to publish articles on the PDGA. I like when I click on
it was written by Hayden Henry.
Yeah.
He's on staff at the PDGA.
Okay. Because when I click his link, I
forget what his title is. He's like a media member.
Gotcha.
Good writer. Like honestly, it's like a pretty good article
Yeah,
in the grand scheme of things.
I've read
I
a
just
lot
think
more.
it's
Yeah.
It's just a very
hilarious that
silly
it's on the
topic.
PDGA.com.
Yeah. But the AI soldier art is just so tone deaf and like not only tone deaf but just so weird. Like, why would this be
It's so
anyone's
weird.
idea? Why would it be okay? Yeah, let's. I guess because some people some people call Silva like a silent assassin, maybe because it's like it's not just a gun. She's like in like
Well-
full like
Fatigues.
yeah, like Snake from what's the you guys aren't video game people, are you? The
Is it
Metal,
G.I. Joe?
Metal Gear,
Is that
Metal
like-
Gear Solid.
Oh,
Just like full like like old 80s spy in all black with the handgun, and then you got Holland holding a freaking assault rifle. Like I just don't like it's very. I don't know. Like, I do feel like maybe Europeans think it's like funny how Americans are with guns or something, but Silva's not even American, so it doesn't make any sense at any level. So I think it is that, but I think this one's close.
I got to go AI art in the end. Like the PDGA article, it's just kind of funny because like he's been particularly this time of the season, he had been a topic of conversation a bunch because of time violation stuff and people waiting forever for him to putt. And I think it can both be true that you like sympathize with the problem, but also recognize that like, he probably needs to get stroked. Like,
yes.
you got to move it along, dude. Like, sorry, I know it sucks, but like you need to throw your putts. And so the PDGA, who was the arbiter of the rules and has the officials basically being like, look how terrible he has it, is
That's
just
a good
like,
point.
it was the wrong time for this.
Yeah.
But it's not as big of a gaffe as this like gun stuff. This was just like bizarro.
It's really ludicrous.
It's just so weird.
the one thing that I don't know, and it's the reason I think I will vote for, which doesn't matter at this point, but would vote for the article. I don't know who picked the team names. So if like Holland picks those team names as the captain, and then they just come up with a concept around it, like that I don't know. I don't want to rationalize it, but I could see a world where that was the case. I think I think an article about the yips is great, but like I just am like trying to picture a world where like the PGA publishes this about like Rory or something after he misses like a short one at a big tournament, and I just like I cannot believe a couple of things about like a couple of those lines of this article are just so funny. So I like the article, but I think the IR is a good one to go as well.
All right, we move on to the last matchup of the first round. All right, so the number 2 seed, hole 18, Sprinkle Valley. Now, remember, this is the hole where in the second round, 77% of FPO players took double bogey or worse. Only 4% of players got a birdie. The problem was that it was this really difficult upshot, and there was no way to play the hole safely because you had to throw to this island green, and it was like an uphill, difficult kind of flexy shot, and obviously it was playing way too hard, and the hole was the hardest hole on the tour by quite a distance. Which, okay, right? Like, so the hole was too hard, maybe a gaff, maybe not, but I would say they tripled down. Okay, on March 31st, they post an Instagram story basically saying we screwed up, it was too hard. It's like this like really kind of like earnest sappy thing, and they're like, we pulled the basket because we have to rethink this hole. And then the next day, they're like, psych, April Fools, ha ha ha, we're actually making it harder, ha 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 ha. And I'm like, you can't announce the April Fool's joke on March 31st.
You can't do it.
You can't do that. And you're wrong. It is too hard.
He's like wearing a shirt that says disc golf is hard on the back in the first video when he's walking away with the basket.
Oh, The whole thing from start to finish was so cringe. Like, I like the concept of this hole, but the way that they just like refused to acknowledge that it was playing too hard. Like,
Yes.
it was way, 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 way too hard. You have to have a way to play that hole more easily. And they didn't have that option, and it was clearly too much. And they should have just acknowledged that and said, "Yeah, we're gonna tweak it next year." Instead, they faked that they were going to change it, not on April Fool's Day. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I still contend, and I think I said this at the time, that they weren't intending it to be an April Fool's joke, and then they decided to like make it an April Fool's joke. The whole thing was just brutal to me. That goes up against the number 15 seed, which is the Cascade Challenge trophy, another trophy. They gave out an axe, which, you know, on its own is fine, I guess, but the axe was clearly just purchased at the hardware store. It still had all of its labels and stickers and like from the store on it. They didn't take any of that off. They didn't do any special anything. They just were like, "Here's an axe." In case you want to return it, we got the receipt for you too.
They also like didn't dull it. It has like the plastic cover on it. Like, you can go chop down a tree with your trophy now if you want it.
So that's the matchup. Obviously, I'm going to take Sprinkle Valley here, but Josh, what say you?
Sprinkle Valley. I mean, we've got a heavyweight match, a couple heavyweight matchups coming up, and Sprinkle Valley it's so dumb. Like, and especially in an era when we're like, hey, let's make FPO courses better suited to their game. And like they're getting all mad because their hole they had 77% double bogey rate. Like, come on, that's so dumb. And then the video anyway. Yeah, it definitely is going to be advancing.
Dan,
same vote for me. You can't do an April Fool's on March 31st.
That's really the criminal. That's the criminal element of this whole thing.
You just cannot do it. Yeah, I
that's just not how it works.
You guys kind of like half mulliganed it, but you shouldn't have done that. I mean, I think it's true clown behavior from the Sprinkle Valley guys. They deserve to move on.
All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, second round action as we move into the quarterfinals. Stay with us. It's Gaffes and Weird Stuff. We'll be back. The Upshot is presented by Pound Disc Golf, makers of the best bags in the sport. Well, now's the time to get yourself a Pound bag. Everything is shipping now. Brand new, redesigned Octos, the Rufus, the Vagabond if you want a shoulder bag. They've got the Royale with cheese bundles if you're trying to go for the whole shebang or you're getting somebody something for the holiday season. If you're looking to save or you just want to get the bag of your dreams, now is the opportunity. You can grab an Omakase series bag. It's never been a better time to get yourself the last bag you'll ever need at PoundDiscGolf.com. Welcome back to The Upshot. Charlie Eisenhood, Josh Mansfield, Dan Prentice with you as we continue in our Gaffes and Weird Stuff bracket. Let me note, this is all in good fun. Just remember that. Really, none of this stuff makes me that mad in the end. And we're going to have a great time into 2026 season. So don't take it too personally. I personally was in the Gaffes bracket for looking like an absolute moron on the Disc Golf Network. So, all right, let's move back to the top of the bracket. We've got the U.S. Women's Trophy in all its glory, standing strong up against the giant duck from the preserve.
If you look up USWDGC trophy and you click on the top one comment on Reddit, you scroll down, the top comment, it's just, "Yup, that's penis." Anyways, yeah, it wins. Like, we have talked about trophies. The thing is, we are never going to need to talk about trophies again. because it can't be worse. It cannot get worse than this trophy. Can't do it. You could not intentionally, like, you could not do anything worse than this. Yeah, it's got to move on.
I kind of think that's the only explanation, that they did it on purpose to end all trophy complaints. Otherwise, there's just zero explanation that this possibly could have made it through. I mean, I think the real explanation is that they waited too long to, like, be able to give approval or disapproval on the finished trophy and just assumed that it would turn out okay. Yeah, I mean, Reddit comment that Josh read is exactly right, and it has to move on. Well, I think we'll live in the memory for a long time, this one, to be honest.
The comment on that Reddit post from the original poster is, I was hoping that it was just DGN's potato cameras that made it look so unique, but this shot confirms the need for a flared base. On the plus side, at least ceramic is dishwasher safe. It's just brutal.
Oh God.
It's got to move on. All right. Next round, it's the 4 versus the 5. Discraft's AI art on Labor Day discs versus Adam Hammis throwing a disc at the vultures. That's a tough one, guys. Josh?
Oh man, these are the two most like tone deaf of the gaffs on here. Like,
that's right. These are the tone deaf. This is the tone deaf matchup.
This is the tone deaf matchup. Both are top tier. It wasn't much of an apology, but I am gonna give. I'm going to, like, man, I don't know. I think I am going to let the AI art makes me, like, I think is a dumber gaff, but I am willing to buy that Discraft outsources a lot of their artwork to a bunch of different artists, and just, like, they put it on, they glance at it, and they went, yup, stamp it. Like, I don't think, like, Discraft Central was like, hey, let's draw up a quick Rosie the Riveter with AI art. Possible.
I agree with you.
Possible, but I don't think it's the case.
I agree.
I really think it's a third-party artist that they contract with who just slapped it on and they pumped it through and didn't look at it. Dumb. You need to check it. Big gaff. You're in this bracket because of it. But Adam Hammis knew what he was doing and then still decided to post it. I think the intentionality for me is what is going to elevate Adam Hammis, though I think that the AI art for Labor Day is, like, worse. But the intentionality gives Adam Hammis the win here.
Charlie, do you want to go?
No, you got it.
Okay. Yeah, I do think that I'm kind of in the same boat with Josh. Like I think the AI art is, like, worse for the world probably, and more, like, comical, just, like, purely funny.
Yeah.
But again, like, I just don't see any level of Adam's decision to do it in the first place, to have the idea, like, oh, this is good content, let me post this. People will love it. It'll get people excited to root for me when I'm playing in Europe. And
follow me on my Patreon.
And then to just delete it and not really say anything about it. I wish it was still up, because I do feel like he was maybe in the comments a little bit, like, saying some clown stuff too. I can't remember that for sure, but it's part of my memory of it. Yeah, truly just an indefensible decision on all fronts from Adam. So I do think it slightly edges the AI art for Labor Day.
Yeah, I mean, I just think the AI thing, like, we were going to have that happen at some point. I mean, it's no shock we have double AI in this bracket this year. Like, it was going to happen. The judgment from Adam Hammis,
The complete lack of it.
both to do it and to post it, and then not really to acknowledge it after you deleted it. Like, it just, the judgment was bad, and it deserves to move on for that reason. Okay, Aaron Gossage crash out versus Crocal playoff. I got to say, the Crocal playoff, funny. We're not going to remember this one anytime soon. They're going to run that Aaron Gossage package every time he's in
God, I
contention,
hope so.
right?
I hope so.
It's coming. We're going to see the multi-cam cut of him complaining to the refs and steaming around and stomping around and almost about to knock that basket out, baby. Look, I said on the show, and I stand by it, I think he loses anyway. I think that Calvin was just like dialed in a way that
nuclear
was not going to be overcome by Aaron Gossage like making a couple more putts. But from just a pure like gaffes and hilarity standpoint, it just has to move on.
Charlie, I would like to point out one thing. Calvin won with 32 under. Aaron Gossage was at 33 under going into that.
I'm aware. So, but I think you have to account for the fact that he slipped on the tee pad.
Right.
That OB stroke,
he is
that
taking
counts.
a bogey.
Even if they give him the spot up top, he's probably missing that putt, right?
Yeah.
He takes one fewer penalty stroke, but he's still going to lose, assuming that things go the way they went the rest of the way. And I think Calvin ended up having a stroke to play with on 18.
Did he have
possibly?
two?
I
think so.
That's
what I'm saying. Like he could lay up and win.
Yeah,
the three putt on 16.
Yeah.
I think is. Anyway,
but it was really, really windy.
Yes.
We don't have to litigate this again. At the end of the day, I'm voting for the crash out.
Yeah, this one's not close to me, honestly.
Agreed. The crash out's also got to win.
All right, we've got hole 18, Sprinkle Valley, and the March 31st April Fool's joke going up against the AI gun art.
This one is tough because
Dan?
I think that honestly, like the Sprinkle Valley one just kind of makes me mad, honestly. Like it's so stupid and disingenuous and honestly kind of disrespectful in my opinion. Like to be so dismissive of the fact that like the hole clearly was not right for the division, and to treat it the way they did genuinely like is kind of rankling to me. Whereas the AI art, is stupid, but feels a little bit more silly. So I do think that maybe the larger error is Sprinkle Valley, but the AI art just feels more in spirit with what this bracket is, at least from my point of view. So I don't know which way that makes me want to vote.
The hole averaged 3.5 strokes over par.
Isn't it like the hardest hole, like you said on tour, but I think it's the hardest hole like in the history of the tour by almost like a half stroke or more.
I think that's right.
It was like the most difficult hole and not close. It was a terrible hole.
Kristen Latt took an 11 in round one.
Yeah. And then
Kristen Latt lost his tournament because of this hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not good. She took a 10 the next day.
Hole 12 at Northwood looks at that hole and is like, geez, bro, you need to chill.
Yeah, chill out. Yeah.
Kristen ended up losing by one stroke to Holland Handley after going a combined So 11 is 7. It was a par 5. So 6 and 5. So 11 strokes over par on the hole, which like whatever, like everybody had to play the hole, but it just clearly was not an appropriate hole.
Bad hole.
There has to be a better way to make that hole work. Yeah. We've talked about a bunch of remedies. It's one thing to have a bad hole. It's another thing to double down and then make an early April Fool's joke about it. I'm still mad, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Charlie's reasoning has swung me back. I did think, for like the spirit of what I would like this bracket to be, a little bit more lighthearted. But yeah, it genuinely, like if you care about FPO, I genuinely think that you should be like at least a little annoyed or miffed or like, I'm not saying that these guys are evil guys, but they handled this whole situation extremely poorly.
Yes.
If Sprinkle Valley wins with the slab trophy, we need to send a t-shirt that says warning, my April Fool's jokes come on March 31st. Got to put the world on notice.
Oh, man.
April Fool's joke, 331. All right. We move on to the semifinals. We've got the U.S. Women's Trophy going up against Adam Hammes throwing at a bird.
Oh, that statement is just so funny.
Oh, my God.
Josh, what are you going to vote for here?
Go ahead, Josh.
I really, really, really want to keep this Adam Hammis thing going.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't do it here though. The trophy is a level. I mean, that I cannot picture a world where somebody looks at that.
I'm not gonna lie. Continue.
No, what are you about to say?
I was gonna say this won the Gaffes bracket immediately upon being handed to the winner.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it could be like maybe in the history.
They had to
of the Gaffes
airbrush it out.
bracket. Yeah.
We're gonna do a like Gaffes roundup of the last however many years we've been doing this. I can't remember if it's been 3 years or 4 years, but we're gonna do a multi-way discussion of the biggest gaff so far of the 2020s for the Discord for subscribers. So make sure you sign up and join us for that, because it's going to be a lot of fun. Because this is going to be up there.
Definitely a contender. Definitely a contender.
I'm for sure going trophy here. What about you?
Yeah.
Trophy.
Yeah, and I think it is a testament to how large a gaff this is, because the Hammis one, I think, in some years might make it to the final, but yeah, it's not even in the same league as the USWDC trophy.
All right, we've got on the bottom of the bracket the Aaron Gossage meltdown up against the Sprinkle Valley hole 18.
This is a great matchup.
For me, this one's easy, honestly.
Okay, what do you say?
I mean, I think if you can tell, probably based on what I've said about the Gossage crash out to this point, that I think it has to be it. I am not exaggerating when I think it's the funniest thing I've seen, like in live action in my entire time of watching professional disc golf. Watching it live, I went back, rewatched it, like particularly the 3-putt and the punch, I think is the funniest, like is the climax of it all, right? And like, so when I work in the disc golf shop, we'll have the live on anytime there's live, and then when there's not, I'll have the Jomez rounds after, until I've played them all a couple times and can't take watching the same round anymore. But every time that I've had it on, I've gone back and rewatched the holstered punch,
The sequence.
It's just comedy gold, true comedy gold. And again, I think Sprinkle Valley is like, a genuinely very frustrating thing, but just it doesn't come close to the Aaron Gossage crash out, which is, again, it's just impossibly funny.
All right, Josh, what do you think?
Oh man, this one's so hard. I think my default tiebreaker, and Dan kind of mentioned it a little bit, like my default tiebreaker is just like, which one was funnier? And while I am very annoyed and still like mad about the way they like handled Sprinkle Valley, and I really think as like a response to criticism as a tournament, this might be the worst I've ever seen.
Pretty bad.
But I don't know. Sunglasses calling Brody Smith a jerk was. So maybe it's the second worst response I've ever seen.
That was epic.
That was crazy.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
The funny has to be, it has to go for me, and I think the Aaron Gossage crash out was just funnier.
That is exactly the point I was going to make. So I'll leave it at that. It was just a funnier moment. All right, we get to the finals. It's the U.S. Women's Trophy up against Aaron Gossage melting down at the Pro Tour Championship. It's a worthy battle here at the top. I will throw it to Dan first. You've been riding this Aaron Gossage train. Are you going to ride it all the way through to another vote?
This is honestly really tough. I do think that both of these will go deep in the all-time gaffes bracket. Both are so hilarious. But I think, as much as I want to vote for Goose here, I think because it is more understandable than the trophy that I think I have to vote for the trophy. Because as ridiculous as it is, you know, you can see like, okay, he had a lot of things go against him. He's probably was putting a lot of pressure on himself to get this first big win. Seemingly everything beyond his control is going against him all at once. You know, that obviously would be frustrating for a lot of people. Now, the way he handled it, hilarious. Very, very funny for all of us on the outside looking at it. But there's just no explanation, justification in the world that would make the USWDC trophy make sense or make it okay. And I think that is the tiebreaker for me of two just like all-time hilarious disc golf developments that I just can't see anything in any part of the world that like justifies it in any way. I have to vote trophy.
Josh?
There's a very real possibility that this trophy win, like, and it's just everything around the fact, and we talked about this, at being USWDGC. Anywhere else, I don't think this probably doesn't even win the bracket anywhere else. It might, but it's not clearly one of, if not the worst gaffes that disc golf has ever had. Like, could you imagine if that was the tournament that they're like, oh yeah, we got broadcasting rights for this on like CBS Sports or something. Like, fortunately, no one watches that channel, so we'd be okay. But like, imagine like that would. This is unbelievable. And the number, I'm just trying to comprehend. How many people did you think it had to get through that looked at it and thought, yeah, we're going to give that out anyway, right? There has to be at least a dozen people that saw that trophy before it needed to be public and said, it's going to be fine. And that's the part.
I think it was like
I think
too
it went
late.
through 0 people.
No, it's not. No,
Yeah.
you have that as a trophy.
No, but it was a custom made trophy
I don't care.
by a member of the community. I don't
take
even
it-
really want to like air her out on the pod because like it's not about that.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But somebody had to have seen that and gone, this is going to go so poorly on the internet.
Yeah, we need to
And-
restructure this. I mean, yeah.
And
Like
just-
the lighthouse concept isn't bad. That's totally
great.
fine.
No.
It's great.
It's a good concept.
And
It just-
and I
It
I
didn't
don't
look
care
like
if
a
you-
lighthouse.
you have to do something. You've got to go pick up a trophy from somewhere else or anything. You need to grab, if you are the person that saw that and you then go, hey, I'll carry these to the table for you. And then you drop them. Like, you do whatever it takes.
Oh,
No, I'm so sorry.
no.
And you let them shatter. Like, somebody had to have seen that and said, you know what? This world needs a hero, and I will step up today, and I'm breaking these trophies. There were opportunities for people to stop this from happening, and they chose
I mean,
not
the
to.
fact that they had to airbrush it out of the Innova
Yes.
post tells you everything you need to know about this situation. Like, it
Joe
was
Mez
too
should have tagged this as
embarrassing
explicit.
to
Like,
have her holding the trophy in the champion photo on their social media. Like, and I get it. They're not dumb. They looked at that. They're like, we can't put that up.
no.
It's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, no, it's an easy win here for me because Aaron Gossage, he's just, he got by a bunch of circumstances all at once. And like, obviously he needs to be able to control his reaction better next time, but we can all understand why he got so steamed. So I get that, but yeah, no, the trophy is just it's like AI art on Labor Day, but even worse that it's like this trophy at the U.S. Women's Championship. You know,
The other thing I'll add, Aaron Gossage's like blow up was funny and like kind of crazy for disc golf. Other sports have blow ups that are like way worse than this,
for sure.
right? Like we're not talking like Malice at the Palace, like Goose slinging discs at the spectators. Like that could reach all time. There is no. I am convinced that there is
Chucking
no
drivers
trophy.
at the
Can you
gallery.
imagine?
There's no trophy anywhere.
Someone's like,
in
"Hey, nice
sports
putt,
history
Goose."
that matches ours. Yeah.
He like charges him. Holster.
Start
And then
swinging at
somehow
Brian or something.
Yuli and Germ would still defend him on Joe Mez.
So like that to me is the other part is like we've seen bigger sports blow ups. The world has never seen a trophy like that.
That's actually
Man,
pretty
oh,
true,
man.
right? Yeah, that's hopefully true.
No.
All right. Well, it was a good year. It's always fun. We love the Gaffes bracket. Make sure you join us for our sub bonus where we do the best of the Gaffes from our last at least 4 years. I think we've done it, and we'll pick a champion of the era. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks so much, Dan, for joining us for this once again.
Absolute honor to be on for this. I wouldn't trade it for the world. So thanks so much, Charlie.
All right, everybody. Thanks for being here with us and listening to the Upshot. Give us a like and a subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. Give us a review. We would appreciate 5 stars wherever you listen to this podcast. For Josh Mansfield, I'm Charlie Eisenhood saying so long. We'll talk to you next time right here on the Upshot.